I'm finally on. This is the only time I could really get on today. I don't know how many people I'm going to get on here live because I'm later than normal, but I'm going to go ahead and jump on and get started, and you guys can watch this on replay. But I am happy that you are watching this, whether on the replay or live. And if you do have any questions, if I do get anybody live, I will take any questions and I will just try to answer them. If you have anything for me about whether the method or how to use it. We do continually get new people in here with Project Me, so I'm going to introduce myself, even though I know a lot of you already know me. But my name is Jenny Penton, and I am an artist and have created Planner Perfect and designs with plannerperfect.com. I basically created Project Me as more of a core class for women to get back to caring for themselves, so that they can ultimately then care for others. Hey Mona, my first one on here. So that way you guys can care for other people. And women neglect themselves, and it's just time that it's time to stop doing that, because we're putting ourselves on the back burner for the good of the group. We think we are doing it for the good of the group, but we're not. And it's time that mothers in particular, and women, understand who they are outside the roles that they play, that their purpose is not their role, but rather just discovering who you are and what your talents are. And if you're a mom, you know now when you do discover those talents, you can use it right alongside with your children, and to benefit your family and the world. So that's what this core class is about, because I feel like the method, the Planner Perfect method, it is for that kind of woman who knows where she's headed, who has goals for her life, who knows and wants to envision her life out. And that's what Planner Perfect is really all about. It's set up so that each month has goals. It's set up that you can set goals each month, so it's way more easier to execute. Your motherhood is elevated. And hi Brenda, and hi Michelle. Oh sweet, I'm glad you got to catch me live. And so today I kind of wanted to talk about, and I am a homeschooling mom of 8, so if anyone's new, I will say that, because that's a big part of me. You know, and I am a mom of a huge family, and today I kind of want to address a couple things, and it's going to be laid back. If you guys have any questions for me, I can try to answer those. But I'm going to talk to moms who are just weary, women that are weary, moms that have a lot on their plate, who really can't see past the next minute, who really struggle with just being depleted. And I just want to let you guys all know that I have been there, and I can get in there all of the time. But I don't want you to be discouraged, because here's the thing. Hey Sherry, here's the thing. Here's a couple things that I've learned with being a mom to so many, and especially now that I'm 44, it's like I get a second chance at parenting all over again. Okay, at least that's how I feel. Hi Teresa. And so a couple things is, it's vital that we take care of ourselves and our emotional health. That's just number one. If we neglect ourselves, we are going to be crabby, owly, yelling at our husbands, the whole 9 yards. So it's important that's why it's important that we feel pretty, hi there, hi Pam, that we feel pretty, that we feel beautiful, that we're taking care of ourselves, that we're getting out, that we know our talents, and we are that whole woman, that we are well-rounded, we know where we're headed, we have goals, we have dreams, we paint again, we write again, we inspire other women, other people. We use our talents for the world. That is ultimately what we want to do. We want to make this world a better place, right? And so in raising our children, we can teach our children to know their talents by us first knowing ours. So it's very, very, very important. Number 2, planning your life like this, girls. with this. I'm just gonna throw up my August. I took it out because it's easier. When I don't get to, I loved what Mona said because she hit a chord with me because that's exactly how I feel. And here I am a mom and now full blown seems just entrepreneur here. I can definitely feel the stress, okay? And I'll tell you what, there's been some days, Mona, where I have not been able to get into my planner. And I would even tell some close friends, I've told Aaron, I'm like, you know what? I long to dream in my planner. I feel chaotic. I feel stressed. The world is spinning around me and I'm reacting. And I'm like, so I had to stop everything. I had to stop everything. And I had to go into my planner. I had to sit down. I wouldn't even start dinner. I didn't care if there was laundry building up. I sat down and I said, I have to map this out. I'm nuts right now. I'm absolutely nuts. And that reacting is the worst. And I had to pour everything out of how I'm gonna do this. Let me tell you what another thing is. If you guys ever are behind, this is the biggest thing I hear all the time. I'm behind, I don't know where to put my to-do list. You know what I do? A couple times, maybe once out of the week, things happen where things build up and my to-do list is like this long and my period was coming and so I was about to cry a river, okay? I was gonna cry a river. I was like, this house is a mess, nobody cares. I mean, it was all of this kind of stuff. You know what I did? I knew what I always knew to do. I didn't go here first when it gets up this high. I took out a piece of paper because I'm not gonna glorify this, okay? Do you see it? I'm not going to glorify this thing, but I took it out and I said, I can't even see straight. It's chaotic. And I just wrote down in order of importance of what I needed to bang out to even see straight. Do this, okay? Do that. It's easy. You don't have to script it pretty and plan around that. We're talking the heavy duty crap that you got to get out so that your brain is free. Hey, Ellie. Script in order, bullet it, okay? I know that we're all anti-bullet, but not in this case. When we're stressed and we've got some things to do, stop. Number one, it's not a big deal, okay? I had to calm myself down. I'm like, Jenny, get out a piece of paper, write down what you gotta do by order. Tell the kids to go play and go bang these suckers out, okay? Once I was done, I'm like, I feel 100,000 times better. And I chucked my piece of paper and I threw it away. Then I'm like, okay, now the clouds have parted. I'm happy. I'm feeling it. I feel, woo, a load's off. I banged it out. I was serious, okay? I was dead serious. I was plowing over people. I mean, I was folding. I was putting away. I was getting this. Okay, now I'm caught back up. Now I'm scripting. Now I'm like, okay, what's my tomorrow? Let's get back into this. I got it. This is why it's so important. Planning your life and mapping out your life. When you don't, it just gets chaotic and you get reactive. And a lot of women live that way on the daily. It's important to get in here. I also want to talk to the mom that's weary or that you are have pain or you have a disease you're dealing with and you're a mom, okay? And it's hard. And you've got a toddler or children that need you all of the time. I always laugh with my kids, old or small. I go, you know how you guys would be the most happy? Is if I sat in a recliner with nothing around me to keep me occupied and just sat there and waited for you guys to come to me because you guys always want to talk. I'm like, you guys would be so happy if I had nothing on my plate. But that's how children look at us. I mean, they want your attention. And when we really are planned and have things going and we're flowing, we can do that and be that for our kids. But when it comes to how we feel and I know, Mona, isn't it great? It's just, it's a vision board. It's your life blood. It's like, this is your life. You're headed somewhere. It's scripted. You feel beautiful. I'm new to Treasure. Your journals are so beautiful. Is there a place to go to learn this project? This is the place. This is Project Me, and I've also created the Planner Perfect Method. I have a billion videos. I encourage you to go and look at it. There is a start here video, kind of gives you the backdrop of why I began Planner Perfect. And then from there, you'll see so many videos of how you use this method to the fullest. And basically, it's really learning how to not be afraid of the blank page and scripting out your life. We need to start giving our cares to God, and a lot of times we don't. And if you're stressed, that means you're not. And when we feel stressed, we need to stop for a minute and we need to On YouTube, Sarah. Yeah, thanks, Ellie. Yeah, see, Amy, I'm telling you, us moms get there. All women can. But don't freak out about it. It doesn't, and when you're a true Planner Perfect method woman, you can do anything you freaking want. You still know where you're grounded in. You know what I mean? So throw out a whole bit of bullet points of things that you need to get done, throw it away. You're not glorifying it. That's something you got to get done. But then your life, then you're planning out ahead. Then how am I going to do this? What am I going to do for my children 2 days from now? How am I going to write that book I said I was going to do? How can I take time for me and do that? When am I going to paint my nails? I'm going to put that over here. There's all these different things that you need to script and how you're going to live. What am I going to make delicious for dinner for my family? What am I going to bake on my baking day? How am I going to, when am I going to fit in my devotions? What are my top 3 things that I need to get off every single day? Those are the things that go into this planner, where you are things from Project Me. We're getting to that. I'm telling you, you got to start now taking those things that you're revealing about yourself, things that now you want to execute, and you're going to put them into the month that you want to execute them. So if you're now really feeling good about things and you're ready to like clean out cupboards, put it in the month of August, or maybe it's September you want to do it in. So you're going to get out your September and go in your month and start scripting out. Yeah, I'm going to start cleaning out, getting ready for fall. We're going to start talking about that too over on Facebook Live, because now it's fall time. So now it's like we're going to get rid of the beach balls, and now we're going to clean and get our home prepped for fall, right? With wardrobes, things like that. Oh, that's so amazing, Pam. Some things are just not meant to be scripted, but just done. No one cares until you don't do it. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that well, I think actually I care the mostest, okay? When things are a pit, kids will crawl over clothes and toys. They're like, hey, Mom, can you make me peanut butter and jelly? They don't care if it's on the floor. But I will say, when everything's cleaned and everything is done and a candle is lit and dinner's on the table, they love it. They totally love it. And yes, so fall cleaning is... It's fall cleaning, it's getting out the scarves, it's seeing if their mittens still fit. All of that fits in here so beautifully. I have done this for years and years and years, and I am never more organized ever in my life. I mean, this thing, I'll tell you, and we're going to go through it. This new season comes, we'll show you how to use those errand runners to the fullest and everything else. Get rid of the ugly. I have gone through my house seeing things that are, isn't that the truth, Sherry? I tell you what, I still see pockets of ugly, and it's not even mine, and I'm still throwing it away. I'm like, my son won't miss this. I'm getting rid of it, okay? It's just stuff like that. I have to surround myself with pretty. I just do. And I refuse to, it's just time to get rid of the old plastic cups or the Mount Rushmore coffee mug that, you know, your aunt gave you, okay? It's time to just put in beautiful, that whatever inspires you makes you feel beautiful. That's what you do. There is no right or wrong to that. It's what makes you feel beautiful and what gives you joy, or that special mug your kids gave you for Mother's Day that you can sit down and it's just filled with memories and you love it and cozy feelings. Isn't it true, Mona? You're so much more organized. I'm telling you, that's why I'm screaming about the rooftops from this method. I have 8 kids and I am organized for the most part. No one is perfect, but if your whole makeup of your life as a whole is organized, things are beautiful, you're well-rounded, you know where you're headed, you are spiritually growing and learning, you know your talents and you know your goals, you're in the right direction. And that's what we want. That's what I want for all of you. I want you to know where you're going, what's exciting in your life. When you start getting ideas and dreaming, because that's what a blank piece of paper does, when you start dreaming and getting excited, then it's like you're a mother times 100, because you're a woman aside from being a mom. So now you're psyched, you're stoked, you know who you are, and you can do it all the while having your babies, incrementally doing it with wherever you're planted. For women too, and I touched on it, and then I need beautiful visual lifts. Yes, you do. I love being organized. I do too. It's a priority for me. My mom taught me really how to keep a clean home and to be decluttered. And there was always a certain way to fold towels. I think Martha Stewart folds the towels that way, that tri-fold. But my mom always like, this is how you do it. You don't see the seams. And it wasn't that it was like, you have to do it this way or, you know, it wasn't like that. It was, Jenny, we do this because it's beautiful. And she'd put it away. And she just would demonstrate beauty in everything that she did. I mean, it's just that kind of cozy feeling, and everything my mom did, the way her hands would stroke a book because it was a beautiful book that she loved, and she'd stroke it. I just have all these memories of her doing that. And the way her hands looked, and the way she sat in her chair, and the way she approached dinner, and the way she approached lunch, and the way she fed herself. I mean, you just are like, you know what? Yeah, right. No one is that fantastic. My mom really is. I mean, it's the way she, you know, it was never, she just, her Ezekiel toast and her beautiful dishware that she chose, and everything she did was beautiful, and she still does it that way. I mean, everything she does. And it's just, it resonated with me. And I've never done anything different. I'm exactly the same way. My mom is my mom, and I'm me, and our ideas of what's beautiful is different, but that's what makes us all unique, and that's what's so amazing. Live your life like it matters, absolutely. Doing things beautifully makes me feel far more worthy. Isn't that the truth? It makes you feel completely worthy, and it lets your children know you're worthy. And when your children see that you have gifts and talents and you can use them, it makes you feel like you're more than just someone who folds their underwear, that you are their mama, and this is what my mom's really good at, and this is what she does. I think that's also pretty awesome. I know my mom is beautiful, and she's amazing. Really, Ellie, there is not one part of her house that isn't pretty. It's the truth. And it's not even like, and I'm sure you'll agree, Ellie, it's not like it's an untouchable. Of course, my mom's been that way too. But it's just that she's, everything is just around her that is beautiful, and she loves to share that beauty, and let's have coffee together, and what can I do to bless you too. It's one of those kind of things, the dignity of motherhood, and that is how it is. And for moms who ever are suffering or feeling blue or depressed or having kind of aches and pains and things like that, I really, number one, if you're not a believer, I mean, this pertains to believers, and I love what Bill Winston says, and one of my favorite pastors in the whole wide world, he says, if you aren't saved, then you should be saved, because there's huge promises for believers, huge promises, and one of them is healing. And you don't see manifestations right away, but when you say, you know, when you sow the seed of God's word, and you completely, isn't Bill Winston amazing, Sherry? I listen to him, and I'm so freaking pumped. I'm just like, God is so good. I mean, he changed my world. I actually even give to his church. He changed my world. Bill Winston single-handedly changed my world. Oh, yeah, see, Ellie, totally. And our children do, Brenda. They need to see us exactly the way that they are. Or I sit and listen. Oh, Deborah, you say things so lovely and true, and I still haven't showed myself to do Project Me. Well, I think the first thing, if you're working on how to start, and then we'll get back into resting in God and being full of faith, because manifestation does come, and it's a promise, and it's in the Word. But for those who really don't know where to start, that Project Me Ren book was the perfect core place to start, where you really just start looking at those blank pages and saying, how can I take care of me? Start dropping things out of your head and really stretching your brain and your mind and your thoughts, and like, what can I do to take care of me? What am I good at, and what do I enjoy? What can I do again? Start thinking about how you can bake again and cook again, and for your family and for friends. Start thinking about how you can declutter your home and make it beautiful again. Start just scripting all those things down. Write about how you feel about your weight. Is there anything you need to work on with your weight? Should we be listening to our bodies more? And listening to the cues that God gave us? What can you do to start taking care of your skin and your hair and your nails and feeling beautiful with everything you put on? How about your undergarments? Are those beautiful again? Do you need to purge and get new? It's starting there. It's the core. This is the core stuff. And once you get to know yourself and start putting on makeup again and feeling beautiful again, yeah, buy a bra for heaven's sakes. It'll change your life, right? Absolutely, this works for single women. You have to take care of yourself, and what a better place to be in, to know where you are, to know where you're headed, to be fully grounded and have a great foundation before you even introduce, if that is in your future family, a husband and children. So you be in the perfect place to kind of be grounded in knowing that, taking care of yourself and knowing your talents and headed somewhere with those goals. That brought me out of an empty nest because I was just a mom. See, there you go, and you decide, and you found out that you were good at photography. And those that are moms within just the motherhood, if you think you love photography, you can do it now, and that's what's so great. And for the longest time, I knew I was good at art, and I've done it ever since I was 5 years old. But my kids, this is really funny, but they used to cry when I used to paint, because they used to cry thinking that they could never be as good as that, and so they would cry. And so I would be like, oh, my poor babies, I just won't paint in front of them then anymore. That's what I did in my 20s and 30s. And then I saw Taylor, who caught on that I was good and started to do it. Then I saw him painting, and I was like completely jealous. I was like, I'm jealous of your time, I'm jealous that you're good, I'm jealous that you're doing this and I'm doing nothing. And I was like, Jenny, do it. And so I did. And so here I am. Don't put your talents in the back burner. Use them anyway. It's good to teach your children that you can be good at something and they can be good at something, and there's nothing to cry about because God gave them something amazing too. And I love unraveling what they're good at and just talking about it. So do it to yourself. Nurture yourself like you would your own children. And I know I spend a lot of time doing that with them, and they homeschool, so watching them unfold is amazing. I'm like, oh, do you see how good you are at that? You know, that kind of thing. You don't need to have anyone around you to take care of you. It's amazing how you don't even have to have anyone you're serving, and you're still neglect yourself. Totally take care of yourself. Oh, good, Deborah. I'm so glad. Yeah, and Pam, me too. Me too. I'm glad I took out my paintbrush. And now what's even more exciting is me and my son, we just kind of paint together, and he'll shoot me pictures of his newest painting, and I'll shoot him mine. And, you know, what a great thing to be able to do with your son in particular, you know? And so it's been a lot of fun for me to be able to do that with Taylor. And I never would have been able to really totally feeling just the love if I didn't also share my talent with him too. And I think it's pretty cool that he can see me use my art and actually use it, and he can also do that too. It's just something where you're just kind of paving the way, which I think is amazing. And yeah, single women, oh, absolutely. 60 is the new 40. Yeah, totally is. So anyway, girls, scripting out these new plans in your books are just so vital now. Just start pouring them into the months designated of where you want to execute these new things for yourself. Baby step it through, you know, especially if you're new at taking I taught him well, Pam. I really did. And you guys should see his set for Christmas. His Christmas books are so exquisite that I literally screamed. I screamed. And he was starting to put them on his IG, and I was mortified. I was like, you can't show them yet. It's too fantastic. You have to wait. So, hey, Kim. Hey, Aaron. So, anyway, his Christmas stuff is freaking phenomenal. But anyway, I want, you know, when you sow God's word as seed, and you know that by his stripes that you are healed. You know, sometimes I think that we can get so swept up by pain and stuff, because I've been there, that it makes you feel also too, I wanted to touch on that again, because I know a lot of women, sometimes you don't feel good, whether it's migraines. I personally can struggle with teeth problems. I've had ear problems lately, not good, very uncool. I've got a heap. And so what I have been doing is that I've been really sowing the seed of what God says about healing, and I just sow it, and God uses that interim, that space in between before that harvest comes, to really build our faith. And the whole thing is, I just want you to keep the faith. I know I can't. You're gonna die, girls, about the Christmas books. Oh, you're so welcome, Elizabeth. I'm glad all is well. Oh, good. I'm wonderful. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this and you are inspired. Hi there. I just want you girls to just be I just want you guys to rest in Him, because when we don't, then we're not having faith. And we're tying God's hands. And time again has proven that for me, that when I get in there with my hands and I muddle in there and I try to control, or if I try to figure things out with my own intellect, things never go well. Okay? And from all my years, I'm 44, in the midst, still thick of parenting, it has never worked well. But when I've rested, when I have sown the seed, that I will rest in Him, that I will cast my cares, that I am not going to worry, I am not going to stress. And when I plead the blood over my children in the morning and my family, because God redeemed us with His blood, and we are a seed of Abraham, and we have that blessing of protection and provision and health and all of that. You know what I mean? That is pure. That is just amazing. And I plead the blood over my family, and when they go out the door, I am in full faith. I'm not sitting over worried that my children are driving, or I'm in faith that my children are protected by God and our angels that are with us. And it's just resting. And when I needed things for my business or my family, things fell on my lap. Children quit misbehaving. Conditions were leaving my body. It was just that whole faith is a place of rest. Be confident that He is going to do what He says He's going to do, and He will do. Amen, Sherry. I mean, that is it. And your motherhood needs to we need to demonstrate God's love to our family. We need to demonstrate how we have faith. Our children shouldn't see us worried and fretting about them, but rather that we have faith that God is protecting them because of our prayers and what we believe, and how we plead the blood over our families. When we sow the seed, let our children see it. I've been doing that all of the time. It's been great. And it's just being that mother who really, it's just you're all there. You know who you are. You know what your talents are. You use them for your kids. They can see you use them. You're planning a life that you want to live, not what is happening and you're just jotting down the notes and then you check it off. You're scripting a life you want, and when you come up a part that gets yucky, then I may map out how I'm going to change it. Then I rest in Him, and I give Him my plans, and I speak over my day. And I have toddler problems, and I have found that I have very tough sons. I've mentioned this before, and it can really get me down. I'll be like, you know what? Is this some sort of curse? Because I have 5 boys, and whenever they were from 1 to 3, they can get angry. And for my first top boys, I would always handle it myself. I had my nose in a book, how to be a parent to strong-willed boys. You know, it's just everything but the Word. I read everything but the Word. Guess what? Times are different now, and I've got my nose in the Bible, what God says about how our children are to us, and how I am as a mother, and what to do, and how He wants joy in my home. And when I rest in that, and when I cast my cares, and when I just tell Him, God, I don't want this for my family because it can be disruptive, it just falls away. And it's amazing. Number one, I feel better. Then I'm noticing my boy is better. He's not that way anymore. It's changed my life. And I just want you to, experience that same kind of joy in your mothering, in your home. I want you to feel good about yourself. I want you to feel beautiful again. I want you to use your talents and share it with the world. I want you to share different things that you've struggled with and how you overcome. And because the world needs you. The world needs you. And that's what it's all about. I mean, it really, really is. And you use your talents, and you use your story, and you use that, and you go change the world, girls. Just go change the world. And don't let your whole life pass you by and you not knowing who you are and what your story is. So, you know, it's time to write that better story. It's time to dust off those talents. It's time to use them within your motherhood. You can be an entrepreneur and be a mom, and you can homeschool, because I can do it. So can you. And when it's God's ministry, you have an assignment. God's given every single one of us an assignment to do. And it's more than just being a mother. There's another assignment too. Our assignment's to be a mother, and a really good mother, and that's why this method and thinking and being a visionary and mapping out an elevated role as your mother is very, very vital. We don't want to be depleted mothers. But also too, what else has God assigned you to do? That's what you need to find out, and that's what's exciting. And this is you're gonna have a spring in your step when you find God's got an assignment for you. Go find out what that is. Pray about it. He's gonna reveal it, because he did me. He revealed it to me, and it's a discovery, and it's a journey, and it's fun, and it's beautiful, and it's amazing. And you don't want to life to pass you by and you never knew what your assignment was. You know, you don't want to be sitting at 60 knitting socks and the highlight of your day is getting groceries. You know, make a mark in this world. Make a mark in this world. And this planner system is set up around that kind of woman who lives on purpose and intent and knows where she's going. And that's what it's all about. And I just want you guys to do it too. And I want you to rest in him. And I don't want to get so wrapped up in the trenches of motherhood that you can't even be you and you can't even know you, because you're too busy worrying and you're too busy hurting and you're too busy on the, you know, stressed out. That's not how you're supposed to be a mom. You're supposed to be in joy. You're supposed to be in just having a wonderful, beautiful time being a mother. It's time to learn how to bake and to make memories and set traditions. We don't need to be going through the drive-thru every day because we got soccer at 5. Change things around. It's your life. Change it around. When I see things getting edgy and weird in my family, I'm like, oh, it stops right here. I mean, I am so quick. I mean, life's too short. And you know, and a lot of times kids can even get you into thinking that they need to be busy every single day of the week, and I just don't let them. I mean, I'm like, you can be busy, but you're not going to make me busy, okay? Because I have a life, and that's just how it is. My kids don't have to make me busy every single day, 24/7, 7 days a week. They just don't. And I go, and you can be free. I love it because downtime for everyone, and where days are dull, like not full of excitement, is a great time for everyone to get to know themselves and not be feeling like they have to be busy to be important, because that busyness doesn't equate importance or purpose. You have to really study your busyness and make sure it's taking you somewhere. If it's not, eliminate it, and that's for sure. You know, does anybody have any questions that they want to ask me at all in terms of, you know, what I do and what I talk about? Yes, you can still make a difference and make traditions. You can start anytime. It's never too late. It's never too late. Baking and making sure. My kids still talk about the cinnamon rolls, or my kids will go to bed. My son Brock said something so cute the other day. He said, Mom, tomorrow's going to be the best day of my whole life. And I go, oh, gee, fill me in. He's like, I'm eating your cinnamon rolls in the morning when I wake up. That's what he said. I mean, so think about that. I mean, the memories of what you're creating. I'm like, geez, really? You know, but he couldn't wait. He was jazzed. He's like, guys, I'm going to go to bed early so I can wake up and have Mom's cinnamon rolls in the morning. Or, you know, my Gabe, he's 16, he wakes up and says, Mom, or he'll text me from bed downstairs. He's like, hey, Mom, will you make your pancakes? You know, it's just that kind of stuff where those memories will last a lifetime, and the drive-thrus, not so much. But if you make these memories and elevate your motherhood and your role, and you really do it well, eliminate what you got, so what you do well. You can't do everything, but what you do it well. And that's totally how I do it, and I encourage you to do it too. Will this help her find her place? I don't know if I missed the first part of that. What are your videos under on YouTube? It's just Planner Perfect. I'm everywhere, Planner Perfect, and you will find lots of great videos. And I do have quite a stack of Periscope videos that you might want to check out. That's also Handle Planner Perfect. I've got lots of great video there too. just talking about the method and whatnot. Yeah, Kristen, you totally get me. Yeah. Or, sometimes if I ever post an old picture on Instagram of a donuts I've made, I have kids coming out from all rooms wondering where they're at. I'm like, totally psyched, guys. Totally sorry. That was from when we had them, a while ago, okay? It's not this time. But they look forward to them, those donuts. It is all about you. This doesn't have to be with it's talking about the woman here, and taking care of your body and taking care of your nails and taking care and unearthing things that subconsciously you have let seep into your mind. A lot of women act off of false truths. So you actually live off of a false truth of yourself. It's time to discover why you believe what you believe and what's limiting you to being who you're meant to be. That's what the core class is virtually about as well. And it's really discovering what you've allowed to go into the conscious mind, because the subconscious mind can't reject anything. So anything that goes in and you've allowed to go in, like, so if someone called you fat or worthless or you're never going to be good or you're never going to be great or you're never going to be a good mom or this or that, or you've even said it to yourself, because the power of the tongue is life and death, if you've allowed that to go in, your subconscious mind won't reject it if you've allowed it to go in. And then pretty much you are walking off of false truths, acting off of false truths. You won't be confident, or you won't buy certain clothes because in your belief system you feel like you don't deserve to wear that, or you don't wear makeup, or you have a belief around if you look pretty that's a bad thing. Stuff like that. You really need to get down to that core and find out what it is and rewrite different rewrites, different scripts. And after the Project Me book and the Ren, you can write down everything that you do want for yourself, and you do it for 30 days, and pretty soon you'll be behaving and you'll be acting according to your new set of belief systems. So it's time, girls, to be saying, I am healed, I am beautiful, I am wealthy, I live abundantly, everything I need comes to me, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. It's time to say I am thin. I listen to my body. I don't eat when I'm not hungry. I stop when I'm comfortably full. And repeating this about 3 times a day, every day for 30 days, pretty soon you've changed your paradigm. And now you're acting out. Pretty soon you're like, wow, I'm not eating because I'm not hungry. Totally weird. Okay, I'm telling you, that's the hardest. You know how many times we eat when we're not hungry? 1 billion. I mean, it's like you're neither hungry nor full. You're like, yeah, I'll eat that cookie. I'll eat 5. I mean, why not, right? But what if we change that paradigm where we're like, we're not bored. So when we do have feelings of bored, we don't just eat a cookie. I mean, you know what I mean? Because it's there. Start changing the paradigm. Start writing in that Ren saying, this is what I do want for myself. If you want to be a writer, say I am an author. I am, you know what I mean? You just start listing off all those things that you do want. We live in joy. We are, our family is calm, and pretty soon all of those things manifest, and you sow those seeds, those words of truth, and it will manifest, and you change that paradigm. And God made us this way, and we're spiritual beings, and we've got to reprogram that brain, because we've been feeding it wrong way too long. And I know one of the paradigms I had to change was that I would submit to authority no matter who you were. I did not question authority. And so I had no confidence whatsoever, and in my 20s especially. And I didn't even have a thinking system. I didn't even know what I believed. I didn't even know why I did it. And I would have to report to people like, why do I believe it? Or why are we doing this again? Oh, that's why we're doing it. Or why do I believe this? It was really crazy. It was horrible. And no way, not anymore. I am totally into what I know, what I believe, why I believe, and everything else. So that's one big paradigm shift I had to make. And I did that, and it's been a game changer. So something, if I ever felt was never really worthy of anything and I flew under the radar, don't fly under the radar. And if that's you, you need to change your paradigm, just like I did. And that's what that Ren is for. That's why we're all right here, because it's time for us to reveal false truths that we've carried for way too long. And it's time for us to know who we are, because we don't want our children to think about to do that. We don't want them to have the environment, because also when children between 1 and 7, their paradigms being built right there by their environment and what we're programming it to be. So a lot of time, well, it is. Being poor is a mindset. It's kind of like that. If you can think of it that way, you have the same ability to be wealthy than anybody else, because poor is a mindset. I mean, so it's time to change paradigms. It's time to believe that we can actually live a life of joy and abundance. And as women in particular, we can make a mark in this world. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with, for me, I think it's been very empowering for me to not just shadow my husband and just that kind of thing, whereas I can have something that I'm good at too. And we own another business as well, and I know that I was just kind of under there, nestled in, and it's been empowering for me, and he loves it too, where I am actually able to use my talent and make a mark too. And he just is very supportive and loving, and he's like, wow, go Jenny. And it's been a lot of fun. So you have something that you're good at too. Oh yeah, paradigm shift is, but you know, instead of just kind of being, you know, you're just the nurturer and the mom. My boys have even said to me before, that says a lot too, what I'm about to say, but he goes, oh, dad makes the money, not you. So step aside. I got to talk to dad. I was like, what did you just say? I'm telling you, I had my boxing gloves on. I really did. I had my boxing gloves on that day. Okay? And I'm not saying that if you're not making money, that's just something my kids had to do. I don't care if I don't personally me don't, if I didn't have a business. I'm just saying that that's not right for my boys to think. So I was like, okay, everyone get in the same room. We're going to have a talk. You know what I mean? Oh, see, I'm telling you. So we had a chat and we're all good. Apparently, they were told me the way that was their perception of things, which is really crazy. They're young kids. They're just they're just thinking that way. They're not mature. It's okay. We talked it out. But yeah, ouch. Right. So, but it's fun to be able to identify who you are and use your talents. It's exciting. You get full of ideas. You're just going nuts. And then your kids see you go nuts, and then your family sees you use them, and they're like, wow, you're good at that. And they're like, it's cool. And then they're seeing the importance of using themselves instead of just going through the motions of life. It's like, we go to school, we do this, we study, we go to college, and we still don't know who we are, and we change, you know. We get a degree we don't even use, and it's just, you know, it's silly. It's time to think, and we don't think. We just go through the motions and we follow instructions. It's time to think, and I teach my children that too. It's time to think about what we want. And I even have the opposite problem at my house, because I'm so unlike what everyone does that my kids have problems off and on of not feeling like they're like everyone else. So I have that kind of they're like, wait, everyone else is doing this. Why are we doing this? It's kind of that kind of thing. But I'm like, because I want you to think about what you want. That's why, you know. And so think about that for a second. We don't have to do that just because they're doing it, you know. And it's a huge life thing, and it's hard to be in the world and to even think, because it seems like no one's thinking. And that's the truth. And admitting my job is harder. Oh, is it not? Is it not? My husband could say his is hard, and it is hard. Being an entrepreneur is hard. I'll give my husband kudos. But I will tell you what, being a mom is a very, very, very difficult job. And I'll even notice, you know, whenever my husband is tackling something, he's alone. I'm like, well, isn't that nice? How come when I'm tackling something, I'm not alone? You know? That's why my job is hard, you know? Isn't that the truth, though, about you stay-at-home moms? It's like, oh, you're going to go exercise alone? Oh, that's interesting. I always have like 4 or 5 kids. Yeah, okay. And plus, I mean, our brains, and it is important that as moms go somewhere where we can think, that we can breathe, that we can hear ourselves talk. And my mom said something amazing, because I do believe that any kind of physical ailment that we're going through can sometimes be something that we're dealing with emotionally. I really, 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 really want you to think about that, okay? And my mom said something very, very poignant, and I love this. I'm going to share it. And she had this ear ringing problem, okay? And this just happened not too long ago. And she was doing these prison ministries, and this lady that was over her, she was going to put in, she's like, you know what, I'm going to go into the route, blah, blah, blah. And she had this ear ringing problem when she was there, and it was time for her to go. And so finally, this lady kept her on too long, and she said she felt by the Lord that that she needed to stay until she was replaced, and it ended up being like 6 months. I'm like, whoa, Mom. But she was there for that long, and she had this ear ringing problem. She went to this doctor, and he was this Christian doctor. He's an ear, nose, and throat guy. And she goes, here I am. I got ringing in my ears. You know what the doctor said? He goes, what are you sick and tired of listening to? Can you believe that, girls? That's what he said. She goes, it was the cool, she just started sobbing, and she was saying everything that she was tired of listening to and what she was tired of doing and what she was hearing. And I was like, you know what? Isn't that so true? That a lot of times our pain and what we're going through and disease and everything gets crept into our body because we don't rest. We worry. Our bodies were never designed to be sitting in here resting or worrying and stressing and all of that. And I just think it's phenomenal that doctor asked that question, and that he said, what are you tired of listening of? Well, once my mom released all that on this doctor, took her tissues and left, okay, and paid, I don't know, $100+, and she released all that and was writing it out and talking about it with her and journaled it, and her ringing stopped within a week. It's been gone ever since. Sometimes that ringing in the ear can be a pretty serious thing. And it's just amazing. So when you go through something, and I've actually had a different problem with my ears, and it's been it's kind of sounds like R2-D2. It's really weird. I think it's behind the eardrum. And so for a while there, I was driven insane because everyone in my family, the sound coming back to me was R2-D2. I was like, I'm going insane. And resting while feeling R2-D2 is not easy, but it's pushing my faith. It's like, God, I'm giving this to you because by your stripes I'm healed. And I know dang well I have an assignment to do, and he doesn't want us to be sickly and stressed and worried. And so I started just releasing things like I have been stressed. I'm a mom of a lot. I had different kid things going on. I have a business I'm running. I've got a house I'm building. I was like, have I lost my mind? And I've just been scripting. And all of a sudden my ear problem is just, it is almost gone. It is almost gone. And I just started resting and just closing my eyes and saying what I knew was truth and sowing God's word of what I knew of what God said about healing. And it's almost gone. And I can't wait for everything else to manifest. And during that time, I want to be strong in my faith, and I want you to be strong in your faith too. We've all been given the same measurement of faith, and now it's time to just really push it and use it. And I'm telling you, girls, we don't know nothing yet. There is so much that God has for us, and we don't even pull and receive it. He's got so much. He's got so much. So take heart. We have the blessing over us. We have everything we need at our fingertips. God has already done everything. When he died, he said it's finished. We just receive it, and we can know that we can raise our children and feel safe, and we can know that he provides protection, and we know that he's got provision for our families. And when we're working our assignments and we're doing his will, he provides. We don't have to worry. We don't have to be stressed. And I don't want you to be stressed. And think about different ailments that you have and write down different things that are bothering you. Use that Project Me Ren to say, this is bothering me. And I feel controlled by this person, or this has been happening in my past, and I just, instead of truly forgiving someone, you're just letting it soak in, and you're just bitter. That's another one that'll eat you alive. You must forgive, and everything you do must come from a pure heart of love. You have to forgive, and Satan loves to use people to hurt you and everything else, and you need to just forgive them, because God will take care of all of your adversaries. So just forgive them. They do not know what they're doing. Just forgive it. Forgive them and move on, and come from a clean place and a true heart. So sometimes I notice, and I did it too, were these different things where I was getting really mad. I was getting really pissed. Things were coming in and I was just letting it sit and stack. You know, it's like boom, 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 boom. And pretty soon you just notice you're a train wreck. Let's not be train wrecks. You know, let's not be train wrecks. Let's get to it. Let's just get it off that plate and forgive right away. Something comes up, or maybe we need to be the one to go ask someone for forgiveness. It's just those kind of things that we need to be on top of and do. Well, absolutely, Mona. I think we all need to hear it. And I know I've needed to hear it. And I need to fill my cup. And this is the kind of things that I am learning and that I am doing. And I am seeing it manifest. And I just want to share it with you because I know all of us women can go through these exact same things. And my mom is very, very wise. And when I talked to her and when she said that about her ears, I said, I'm sharing it with my girls. I'm sharing it with my girls because isn't that the truth? That when you finally release those things and you finally let go of hearing, or when if you're being either abused or controlled, or different things will manifest in our bodies. It's time to write all these things down. It's time to forgive. It's time to set boundaries that we've talked about before. It's time to do all of that so that we can live well, that we can truly come from a place of where God can actually come in and do everything that he's promised. And so don't tie God's hands by lack of knowledge of what you need to do to actually receive it. And one of those things is actually just forgiving and not harboring and hating. And so I love you girls. But any other questions? Because I think I've taken up a lot of your time. Anything at all? Yeah, Ellie, truth, huh? So Christmas books are coming out soon. We're excited for that to come. There's those 12-month calendars, girls, that everyone wanted. That's this close to coming out, and I'm telling you what, in all sizes, and it's going to be beautiful for you guys, and you guys are going to love them, and I'm going to love them too. And so lots of things. And then I'm going to start doing more Facebook Live on Planner Perfect. I'm going to try to almost set myself up to be able to do Periscope and Facebook Live at the same time, because I think a lot of women really do like that the Facebook. So over on my Planner Perfect Facebook page, I'm going to be doing live quite a bit. So I really want you to make sure you are ready for that and you know where I'll be. We're going to be revamping our homes. We're going to be organizing wardrobes. We're going to be cleaning out cupboards and putting out fall decor. And we're going to just do this organized in the Planner Perfect way. We're going to have fall baking. You know, remember at the new year, I'm also going over to Planner Perfect Meals Live and actually doing live cooking shows, which I think is so stellar and so fun. So look out for that too. That's in the new year. Lots of fun things for the new year coming. So lots of fun stuff happening over there too. And of course, I'm always over here for really getting deep over here on Project Me. And I hope you girls are blessed by it. My husband's even watching my baby. I was like, you know what? You got to get in here because it is hard with my 3-year-old, but we just make it work because I just want to get over here and be with you guys, and so that we can be better me's. Right? So we can be better me's. We need to be better me's, and we need to love ourselves. And when we do that and we know who we are, we can serve the world and serve our families with purpose and intent and feel really good about it. So guys, I love you guys, and thanks for popping in. Thanks Sherry, Pam, Cynthia, Michelle. Yeah, thank you girls and all you that are here that I saw go through. It is so amazing, so amazing. The Project Me is definitely a much needed class. Thank you, Mona. And girls, I will be talking to you soon. Have a blessed weekend. And oh, I'm so glad you got to see me live too. And have a blessed weekend, girls. And I will be talking to you soon. Bye.